It's time we talk security policy. These guidelines aren't for you. I'll explain. Grab your seat. It's time for Counterterrorism Roll Call. Welcome to Counterterrorism Roll Call. I'm your host, Holt Clark. In 2015, ISIS updated and rebooted a manual known as Safety and Security Guidelines for the Lone Wolf Mujahideen and Small Cells. This manual was originally put out in 2010 by al-Qaeda and was designed for a more traditional terrorist organizational structure. It went out via Twitter and was also put out by Jabhat al-Nusra, who's known as al-Qaeda in Syria. The book has recently resurfaced, and that's kind of the point of these things on the internet. They come back up. Sometimes it's a news organization doing a story, and sometimes it's a would-be terrorist who's looking for operational security tips. This manual has 64 pages and 12 chapters on operational security, and it highlights why this is such a difficult job for law enforcement. In this guide, al-Qaeda and ISIS give the top 6 tips for terrorists, and that's what we're going to cover on this episode. Number 1, avoid looking like a Muslim. This OPSEC security manual recommends that wannabe terrorists avoid looking like a Muslim. They say to avoid to wear the qamis, the Islamic tunic, or any Islamic dress. They say avoid using miswak, which is kind of an Arabic toothbrush. And they tell you not to have a booklet of dhikr, or prayers and devotions with you. Tip 2, shave your beard. The guidebook recommends shaving your beard at least 2 weeks before you travel to avoid any tan lines. But in this day and age, I don't know that a beard would really put you out of place. In these days of hipsters and lumbersexuals, you might fit in better with a beard. Number 3, wear a cross. The guidebook not only recommends not looking Islamic, but they encourage you to look more Christian by wearing a cross, especially in Western countries. However, if you have a very Islamic name, they caution against that because that would be even more strange and call attention to you. They advise you not to go to mosques or Islamic libraries or any place that would make you look overtly Muslim. Number 4, splash on perfume for men. Terrorists looking to blend in, the guidebook says, should wear cologne, and they should wear a generic alcohol-based perfume that everyone else in Western countries wears. Don't wear the oily, non-alcoholic perfume that Muslims use. Avoid salaming. The guidebook says don't use Islamic or Arabic religious greetings. They're a dead giveaway. No need to be using too much of the usual sentences that religious brothers use, like Assalamu alaikum. So while the guidebook cautions to avoid salaming, they don't go so far as to recommend dabbing. And finally, tip number 6, go to nightclubs. Not necessarily for the reason you think. It's not just to blend in, but it's to plan your attack. The guidebook says that nightclubs are an excellent place to plan your attack because the loud music and drunk clientele make it very difficult to be snooped on or overheard. Well, there you have it. The top 6 tips that ISIS and al-Qaeda provide their followers to operate undercover in Western society, to blend in, to in essence operate directly under your nose without you knowing it. Now, there's more than just these general tips in this manual. There's specifics on encryption and safe houses and how to acquire money and weapons. There's even a section on social engineering. And we're going to get to those in detail in upcoming episodes of Counterterrorism Roll Call. But until then, remember, life is not a movie. This is not some stereotypical terrorist, somebody who has a tell or has to commit an overt ritual before the attack so that the hero can swoop in and stop everything. It's going to require every bit of your law enforcement training, specialized classes like these videos, your experience and your intuition to be able to identify and prevent an attack. Or if an attack has already occurred, it's going to require your decisive action to be able to limit or prevent death and injury. It could all come down to you. Until next week on Counterterrorism Roll Call, be alert and be safe. Thanks for watching. Please visit our sponsor, patriotthreads.org, and stay tuned for a special offer from them. Would you do me a favor and hit the like button? And if you haven't yet, subscribe. If you want to know more about me, go to my website, follow me on Twitter, or just run me on NCIC. I'll see you next week on Counterterrorism Roll Call. Until then, be alert, be safe. PatriotThreads.org is apparel with a purpose. Patriot Threads offers state-themed, game day to outdoor lifestyle apparel, like the new line of Southern Trout shirts, and introducing the new Back the Blue shirts. All are 100% printed in the USA. Are you looking for a new, exciting, profitable fundraiser? PatriotThreads.org would love to help. Go to their website for details. Use promo code ROLLCALL at checkout and you could save 20% on the sale. And Patriot Threads will donate 20% of the profits to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund. PatriotThreads.org is a proud sponsor of the men and women of law enforcement.